Alright, welcome to another edition of the FantasyFix.com podcast. I'm your host, Brett Talley. We're here to talk daily fantasy strategy for August 1st, 2014 on DraftKings. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at TheRealTal. Alright, let's start with weather today. 30-40% chance of rain in like 5 games in Baltimore, Washington, Detroit, White Sox, and St. Louis. All kind of Midwest East teams. A lot of cool temperatures tomorrow. I imagine cooler temperatures are potentially contributing to some of the rain chances. So no high temperature games to be looking at for potential increased run scoring, since warmer weather helps run scoring. Really, you just got to take a look at the weather tomorrow afternoon, see if any of those rain chances have increased. If they all hold around there, I'm not going to get too worried. Those generally aren't the type of games that get rained out, and usually not even the ones that have significant rain delays with that low percentage chance of rain. So check everything tomorrow, but as of now, things look alright on the rain front. Not any big winds really to be worried about either. Stacks today. Just looking at some Vegas game lines. Actually, let's just talk about the pitcher projections and how that affects stacks today. We sort of have this perfect storm today where the pitchers that I like the most also tend to be good values with fairly cheap prices, and the worst projected pitchers of the day are all facing some pretty good offenses. For example, of the 6 lowest projected pitchers of the day I have, and I guess I should say I don't have projections for guys like Anthony Renato and Jacob Turner, because they're not. I'm using the Steamer projections, and Steamer either doesn't have a projection for them as a starter yet, or they have too many games where they have those pitchers projected to be relievers, and so it's hard to pull the stats out for a starter. But of the guys I have projections for today, 6 of the lowest, and I have projections for 26 guys, it looks like. The 6 lowest projected pitchers, I shouldn't say that, let me back up. The 4 worst projected pitchers I have for the day are all facing above average offenses, which obviously factors into their projection. That's why it's low. But we've got Jeremy Guthrie against the A's, who are above average against right-handed pitching. Eric Stoltz versus the Braves, who are very good against left-handed pitching, not so much against right. Franklin Morales versus Detroit. They're good against everybody, but especially left-handers. And then Cleveland against the righty Jerome Williams, who Cleveland is good against right-handed pitching, not left. So all those teams are well above average against pitchers of the handedness they happen to be facing today. So those are all nice stack options. We'll get into the ones I used in a minute. Also, of the 7 worst projected pitchers of the day, you also have 2 facing the Dodgers and the Angels, who are above average against. They're both right-handed pitchers. And the LA teams are both above average against right-handed pitching. So the stacks I ended up using today, I used players from 4 of those teams. First one is Atlanta. I'm going with Justin Upton, Evan Gattis, and Chris Johnson. I'm hoping that's 4, 5, and 6. That's 3 righties versus Stoltz. I'm going with the Indians against who did I just say? Jerome Williams. I'm going to go with Kipnis, Brantley, Chisenhall, and Santana. That's been 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 3, 4, 5 in their lineup. I'm not sure how that'll change with Asdrubal moving over to Washington yesterday, but I assume those guys will be in the top 5 still. The Dodgers facing Kyle Hendricks. I've got D. Gordon, Yasiel Puig, Adrian Gonzalez, and Hanley Ramirez. And then with the A's facing Jeremy Guthrie, I've got Jaso, Vogt, Moss, and Reddick. So those are the 4 stacks I'd be using today. Over on the pitcher side, I've got, like I said, a lot of cheaper pitchers, all under $7,200, that come in as the 2, 3, 4, and 5 best projected pitchers of the day, according to my Steamer projections I'm using. We've got Danny Salazar, Mike Minor, Dan Herron, and Wei Yin Chen. What's sort of interesting about this is Salazar, Minor, and Herron are all pitchers on teams that I'm using hitter stacks for, so I'm kind of going heavy on the Indians, Braves, and Dodgers for tomorrow. So I put Minor and Heron on teams where I have the Dodgers and Indians stacks. I have them together with Dodgers and Indians hitters, just kind of going all in on those matchups. You don't have to do that. You can use any combination of pitchers. And like I said, they're all between $6,300 and $7,200, these four guys, so they're sort of interchangeable. But anyway, Salazar against the Rangers, who suck against right-handed pitching. Minor against the Padres, who suck against all pitching. Dan Heron against the Cubs, who are actually good against left-handers, but thankfully Heron's a right-hander, so that's a good matchup. And then Chen against the Mariners, who are pretty lefty-heavy, although I guess they did try to address that at the trade deadline. But they're still going to struggle with left-handed pitching, even with Austin Jackson and Denorfier in the fold, I guess. But that does help. So Salazar, Minor, Heron, Chen, and then Braves, Indians, Dodgers, A's for your stacks. So good luck to everybody tomorrow, or I guess today, and I will be back next week with another podcast.